Alrighty, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Serving Nerve, where we talk about whatever we want, and today we're going to be going through more fat acceptance cringe compilations. Now, this won't probably always be a thing on my channel that I'm going to be doing, like every single video is going to be a fat acceptance cringe compilation. I'm just personally binging on them at the moment, and I love to binge on every kind of cringe possible. So if you have more cringe that you want me to see, by all means, send it in, and I will check it out. But in the meantime, let's just go through this video.
Hi, so I wanted to make another time-lapse of some of my Sunday reset again, because it's important to have representation of all bodies doing things, so here's mine. It's a Zenus or Zinus one from Amazon, heavy duty of course. I can link it if there's any interest. It's really nice and super easy to put together, as you can tell. You can also see Huckleberry, my cat, being super helpful during this.
Bro, I'm sorry, Huckleberry is the cutest fucking cat name I've ever heard in my entire life.
Next, I made myself a late lunch dinner. It's my version of the grinder trend, but without onions, because I have parosmia, which is a long COVID symptom that distorts smell and taste for things like onion and garlic. I also realized a way easier way to eat kiwis, so, that's what I'm doing here in a second. Yum.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I can't really be mad at this. Like, you know, I get it, she's morbidly obese, and she's wheeling around in a chair and stuff, but if you haven't noticed, she's cleaning her house, she's just vlogging her life, and she's also eating, like, a lunch/dinner that looks pretty healthy, so, like, I don't really see, like, it being that cringe. I think she's just doing her thing. I don't know what else she says. I know she talked about body representation and all bodies should be represented, but she's just doing her thing. So we'll give her the W on this one.
Every Sunday I do a deep clean of my BiPAP CPAP gear, so that's what I'm doing here to make sure that I sleep well and breathe well throughout the week. And then next I start my kitchen reset, cleaning the stove, getting fruits and veg ready for
I mean, like, I'm sorry I'm interrupting again, but she literally is, like, talking, like, she's not, like, lying about the fact that she's a CPAP machine. She's not, like, going, like, oh, like, everybody should accommodate for me. She's literally just living her life. Honestly, like, I don't think that this really belongs on a cringe compilation. Like, I get why, but, like, I really don't think that this woman's doing anything really that bad in any capacity. Like, she's doing stuff, my dudes. Like, she's not just complaining. She's just talking about her life.
For the week, feeding the cats, setting up their stuff, just getting done what I need to get done to make sure that I am really successful throughout the week and feel good about starting it. Thanks.
I feel like this woman's not doing anything that's really bad. I hope her and her Huckleberry are doing really well. Like, that's actually kind of motivating, dudes. Like, I'm the kind of person who will trash my whole house and then have to clean it the next day, and, like, I literally can't cope well unless I live in an organized enough space. Like, I'll get depressed if I don't have, like, a really organized space or a clean enough house and whatnot, and then I'll not want to clean up very much, or I'll feel like it's all an appeal to futility if I don't. So I'm always endeavoring to try and make sure things are pretty well organized, so I do have my successful day, successful week, successful month. But I really don't feel like she's doing anything wrong, and I feel like this video should probably not be on a fat acceptance cringe compilation or whatever. It's just kind of like, she's just doing her thing, and I hope that her and her cat Huckleberry are thriving in regards to their endeavors. I have to say, Huckleberry is still the cutest freaking name I could think of for a cat.
Now this is a bikini body. Now this is a bikini body.
Wow, that is a thigh slap if ever I saw one. Impressive. Somewhat depressing, in fact. Wow, I never thought I could get black-pilled so quickly from one video. Makes me question every single life decision I've made. I bet I could thigh slap water from between my legs. I should do that and make an OnlyFans for it.
I'm ready to go piss some people off at the beach.
Like, the grief behind realizing that, like, we're not gonna be skinny. And, like,
the pain that she is talking about is very, very real. You're never gonna catch my size 18 ass saying I wish I was skinny. I've just done too much work for that. But I do wish that other people weren't fat phobic, like, all the time. Fat phobia isn't just being made fun of or not being able to get a date. It runs so much deeper than that. It's employers assuming that you're lazy and teachers or professors assuming that you're stupid. It's being constantly invalidated and not taken seriously in any setting.
I mean, these are all things that, again, like, you can't control what people think of you, but you can control what you think about yourself. One thing I have to point out with this is, you know, when it comes to your body, you don't have to be skinny or endeavor to be super skinny or anything like that. You should just always endeavor to be healthy, and your body will probably adapt enough for you to not be obese. It takes a lot to become obese. It does. It takes a lot of lifestyle imbalance. But at the same time, the other thing I hope people do, whether they're obese or not, is not let other people's judgments of them affect them in a negative way. Like, it's great if somebody judges you and you take that and you use it to positively, like, push yourself into a better direction because you know you can do better. But at the same time, you should never beat yourself up regarding what other people say. You should only care about what you think of yourself and how you can positively perceive yourself while also doing positive things for your own well-being. You can't just think it, you have to do it, and you have to believe it, and you have to live it. But when it comes to fat phobia, there are some people who are going to treat you like shit no matter what your body weight is. Some people are just not going to hire you. I actually used to work at a place that only would hire for females, 5'2" females. I'm not kidding. Everybody was the same height. And all the kitchen staff were super sexually harassy, and the managers were super sexually harassy, and it sucked. And, you know, it really blew bubbles. Like, I just have to point out, my people, there are certain employers who will discriminate against you or hire you for the wrong reasons depending on your body. So it's not just like, oh, it's when you're fat. It's when you're also skinny, 5'2" or 5'6" or 5'11". I just have to point this out. It's not just when you're fat that this kind of stuff happens. It just depends on the workplace, who's running the show, and sometimes you are going to find somebody who is going to discriminate, or you're going to find somebody who picks and chooses people that they find attractive and desirable because they can. It sucks, but it happens, and you'll find a job somewhere else. Trust me, it's better finding a job somewhere else than working for assholes.
We have so much less control over the shape of our bodies than the diet and wellness industry wants us to think we do, and that includes thin people. Being thin is not some kind of achievement. You won the genetic lottery. Congratulations.
I mean, that's also kind of ridiculous. Some people are genetically, like, able to maintain lower body weights without very much effort, but a lot of people actually just work on themselves and they make sure that they eat healthy diets, exercise consistently. Some of them count calories, are on specific diets, do all kinds of things to maintain a lower body weight because they value that. So it's not just a genetic lottery. It's not like they just magically have it. It's oftentimes a self-imposed circumstance, just like being fat is a self-imposed circumstance.
But knowing all of these things does not make it any easier navigating an extremely fat-phobic society.
One thing I have to point out here is I don't understand if these people recognize that society isn't here to accommodate for you or anybody else. Society doesn't care whether you're fat or you're skinny. They're not here to accommodate for you. I feel like a lot of these people in the fat acceptance movement think that it's just them getting, like, treated like garbage by society. Society judges everybody. Like, society literally treats everybody like crap. People in general oftentimes are not here to be your friend. They're here to take advantage of whatever situation they're in, and they're also here to judge away. And if you don't fit into a box, trust me, I've not fit into a box very well throughout most of my life in spite of my weight. But if you don't fit into a box, you will be judged and scrutinized by society. It just happens. Like, I grew up in Canada with an American mom, and everybody I knew hated Americans. And I got treated kind of like crap at times because I was considered, like, honestly, like, a defective Canadian by some. In my school system, I was not treated very well. So what did I have to do? I just had to rely more on my own perspective and my ability to argue with people, which is why I have this channel. I know this is a very weird perspective to have, but when I was in Canadian school, I remember specifically, Canadians in, like, the Vancouver area and the Tri-Cities in my school system, they would literally talk so badly about Americans, and I was an American. Like, my mother's from America, I've got dual citizenship. Like, although I was born on Canadian soil, my mom's from America, and I have dual citizenship, I'm just as much American as I am Canadian. In fact, I act more like an American than a Canadian. So it really, like, would kind of, like, hurt my feelings and make me feel, like, judged and hated by all of society just on the basis of having an American mother and having dual citizenship. So, I mean, people will judge you for literally anything. And in my opinion, like, that's a really positive thing for me. Like, from my perspective, having American citizenship is quite a blessing. So, you know, just to think, like, something so positive society will judge you over. Society will hate you for everything. Your peers will scrutinize you and chastise you and treat you like crap for whatever. If you do not fit the box, It's what it's gonna be. You just have to live with it and be the better version of yourself that you want to be for your own well-being, and say screw it to everybody else. And I don't think that these people understand that everybody in society is judged indiscriminate of their weight. I think it's just them, and I do not understand. Like, we can talk about social justice all day long and cry about our feelings, and we can go on and on about how, you know, I'm fat, so I'm discriminated against. I'm you know, whatever, because I'm discriminated against. I'm a woman because I'm discriminated against, or whatever the case is. But everybody gets treated like crap by society, and I just hope people understand that and recognize that, because it's gonna make a much more level playing field where we can all open up a conversation instead of just shut this shit down by complaining about our problems. And honestly, like, who gives a fuck if people hate you? Fucking let them. Who gives a flying fuck if people hate you? Who cares if people don't like you for being fat, or short, or tall, or skinny, or a woman, or a man, or being whatever? Or for your associations, your political beliefs, anything. Who cares? Who literally cares? As long as you like yourself and can live with yourself, that's really all that matters at the end of the day, because most people on planet Earth at some point are gonna judge you and disappoint you, even if they love you, even if they care about you, whatever. Some people are just gonna judge you for who you are, and that's fine. You should learn to work with that judgment and also assess that judgment and use it to push yourself even further into a state of, like, competence. Assess it, work with it, deny it, use it, but never let it affect you so negatively as to perpetuate you to become jaded as a result. You should definitely use it. Weaponize people's judgment against you to get yourself further in life, because then you'll just exceed everybody who judges you. That's my opinion. I know it's a very psychotic opinion to have, but it's gotten me way further in life than me worrying about what people think about me, or me feeling like I'm judged by society. I just don't give a fuck.
You're navigating an extremely fatphobic society.
And that's a bad thing? Choosing.
You chose to eat food is what the comment says. I think the entire point of this comment is that your choices will create your own circumstances, and victimhood is what the comment is trying to make the point of, versus the person who's victimizing themselves and acting like they're a victim of everybody and, like, you know, society and all that stuff. Pretty sure that's gonna be, like, the point of conversation that we have. Pretty sure I saw this person before complaining about other stuff pertaining to how they're victimized by a system or, like, the medical community or whatever. So anyways, the point I'm trying to make is you chose to eat food is a comment saying you make the decisions that put you in the situation you are in now, and this person's then going like, so it's bad to eat food? It can be if you use it in a bad way. Anything can be bad.
To eat food, the bad thing. Okay. Got it.
And this is the thing, it's like, if you want to eat a ton of food and become morbidly obese by not exercising and eating an excessively calorically dense diet, that is your choice. I just hear a lot of people blaming other people or society for their circumstances, and I think that's a very negative perception to have, because it does impose a level of victimhood, and you don't want to be a victim of anything. You don't want to be a victim of society, circumstance, or yourself. So I'm just saying, I hope this person's doing well enough to understand that they have the ability to make any kind of positive or negative changes for themselves, and they have all the control in the world to do what they want with their body, because it is their choice. It is their choice to become obese. It is their choice to become skinny. It is their choice to live a life the way they want to live it. But the other thing I have to point out is, why are you making a TikTok about it? Like, then you are just expected to have judgment no matter what the circumstance. Like, if you're gonna make content and put it online, though, you do have to expect people are gonna judge you, maybe, you know, make commentary on the fact that you're fat, or the fact that you're skinny, or the fact that you're this, that, and the other. Like, people are just gonna judge you for whatever. It's part of being online. And dude, I have to point this out. I'm a tiny channel, my outreach is pretty small, and a lot of you guys actually agree with me and enjoy the content I produce. Even I still get comments that are calling me fat. I get comments that tell me, like, I'm wrong about this, that, and the other, and that's totally fine. That's completely fine by me, because people can judge me all I want, and all that's gonna happen is I get boosted algorithmically by their commentary. The point I'm trying to make is people will make a judgment of you no matter what. It's up to you to judge yourself.
If you do not date fat people because you just happen to view fatness as neutral but not be particularly attracted to it, fine. That's a preference. If you don't date fat people because you think being fat means that they are gross, lazy, live an unhealthy lifestyle, or are embarrassing to be seen with in public, that's fatphobic.
I love how we're just moving the goalposts. We're just moving it all around. It's fatphobic if you do this, but not that. None of that is fatphobic. I mean, thinking of a fat person as disgusting maybe is arguable for some, But not wanting to fuck somebody because you're not attracted to them is not fatphobic, no matter what the circumstance. And you know what? This is why I think people are becoming even more hateful of the fat acceptance movement. It's because they keep on moving the goalposts. They act like, you know, you don't want to date them, you're fatphobic, whatever the reasoning is, you're fatphobic. And the other thing that bothers me is they're lumping in, this person's literally lumping in thinking fat people are disgusting with thinking fat people are unhealthy. Those are two very different things. One requires that you look at them kind of like morally as if there is some questionability there, or on the basis of disgusting, which has oftentimes associations with uncleanliness, filth, you know, disgusting, that they're putrid in some capacity, you know, that they're not appealing. And the other thing has to do with health, which is an assessment of physical well-being, longevity, things that you can kind of understand. If you're morbidly obese, you will lack because it's just morbid obesity and people don't want to have early death. It's a normal concern, but lumping both of those things together with fat phobia creates a very big problem when you're trying to point out that one thing could be considered fat phobic for some, and then you lump it in with something that's a physical assessment of health and well-being and longevity. You can literally pick, like, if somebody to you is disgusting or not. You can actually think of people as disgusting or not. But when it comes to health, that's pretty concrete. Like, the concept of what is considered healthy is a little bit all over the place, but the concept of a morbidly obese person not being thought of as healthy, morbidly obese, morbidity, morbidly obese person not being healthy is fat phobic just doesn't line up properly with everything else that this person's saying. So I have to disagree.
But to insist your preference is for people who aren't lazy, sloppy, and disgusting and unhealthy.
Like, again, this is the thing. They're associating laziness, sloppiness, disgusting, all with unhealthy. These are all different variables. These three, you could actually make an argument that it's a stereotype. This one's not a stereotype. It's a legitimate concern people have.
That means you prefer skinny people because all fat people are those other things. That's actually bigoted. That's actually deciding that one group is all the same because of how they look.
It's not even just on the basis of looks. It's like morbid obesity. I'm talking morbid obesity here, baby. And like, this is the thing. Like, I don't really care if people are morbidly obese or even decide to be super unhealthy. We all make bad life decisions. But the one thing I have to point out is don't expect me to want to bang you. Like, come on now. Honestly, my standards are way too high for that. And the thing is, the number one turnoff that I have isn't even people being super, like, obese or unhealthy. It's people being stupid. People acting dumb and acting like everything's fat phobic or bigoted just because you think that they're not healthy and you don't want to have sex with them, or you don't want to be in a relationship with them, or you don't want to find them attractive or bang them. All of that, that's stupid. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I do not use that word lightly because I really try not to, like, weaponize the concept of IQ and people being dumb. And I was called stupid a lot growing up, so it kind of bothers me when I hear, like, people calling each other stupid all the time. But this is stupid. This is a flawed level of cognition, and this is the biggest turnoff I've ever experienced in my entire life. I literally can swing in any direction at this point as long as there's a brain cell. Okay? Like, honestly, I don't care what your body looks like. As long as you've got a functioning brain, I think it works. I think the system's going, you know? I think we've got it. This is not hot, my guy. This is not hot.
Hope that makes sense. Have a good day.
Biggest turnoff ever is being stupid. That is it. Anyways, tell me what you think in the comments below, my people. What do you think? What's your biggest turnoff? I need to know. I don't know why. Let's just shoot our loads of verbiage in the comments section. Personally, my biggest turnoff is people being stupid. What is yours? Anyways, tell me what you think in the comments below, and yeah, that was it. So I will see you next time, and I hope you all enjoyed. Slater.